Hello friends, welcome to Electronic Circuit Hub. So today we are going to understand about the OCP and OVP circuit design in AltaSpice. We will understand how you're going to design your own OCP and OVP. If I say OCP, it stands for overcurrent protection, and if I say OVP, it stands for over voltage protection. So how you going to design overcurrent protection and over voltage protection for your application? Okay, so I will explain this circuit, how you're gonna design OCP and OVP circuit in AltaSpice, and later I'll run the simulation and I'll show you if this circuit is working to protect OCP and OVP or not, how this circuit behaves in simulation. I'll show you the result of this circuit. Okay, so let us first understand what is OCP and what is OVP and how you're gonna design OCP and OVP circuit, right? So OCP, that means, let us say you have used some load, okay, and what you want to do is you have used some load, and what you want to do it irrespective of changing the input voltage, you want to protect your load. Okay, so how you gonna protect your load? That means that your voltage across your load should not exceed with a certain limit, and the current flowing through the load should not exceed a certain limit. So let us first understand this circuit design flow. So this is voltage source V1. If I right click on this voltage source V1, this is, if you look at that time 0 milliseconds, my voltage is 0 volt, and after 200 millisecond my voltage will ramp up to 25 volts. So I am using here PWL signal, right? PWL signal. Now if you look at this side, this is the current limiting resistance R1, which limits the current of your Zener diode D1, and it also limits the base current of your Q1. Okay, so this R1 helps in protect limiting the current of Zener diode and the base current of Q1. And if you look at this, in my case, let us say the load is R2. So what I'm doing here is I am changing my load resistance value from 1 ohm to 100 ohm, and let us see whether we are getting here irrespective of this load resistance where my current is constant or not. Okay, if the current is constant irrespective of my load resistance, that means I am protecting my load to over current. Okay, so that means that I am protecting my load with over current in case of any over current comes from change in input voltage. Okay, change in input voltage or change in the load. So how you gonna define your load resistance value? Okay, so this is R2, and if I right click on here R2, what you see here, this is resistance value, and I am writing here R. Okay, by using some braces. Okay, now in order to fit the value of your load resistance R, what you need to do is you have to write the step parameter. So I am writing this syntax dot step param, and the resistance, this R stands for this R, because I am feeding the resistance value by using this stepping parameter, so that you can write same here R. And now I'm changing my resistance value from 1 ohm to 100 ohm, and we'll see if there is any change in the current if your load resistance is 1 ohm and if your load resistance is 100 ohm. Now let us see, this is V, this is the transistor Q, and what I'm doing here is this is resistance R3, and here in order to get the fixed current I'm feeding this resistance. I'm putting this resistance here 250 ohm. So and I'll take my output voltage from here. This VCC, I have written here VCC OVP, and let us say irrespective of your change in the load resistance and is irrespective of your change in the line voltage, let us see whether you are getting the constant voltage and the constant current, constant voltage across R3 and the constant current across R2 R3. Okay, so if if you are getting the constant current irrespective of your input voltage changes. So in our case our input voltage change is changing from 0 to 25 volt, and my load resistance changing from 1 ohm to 100 ohm. Irrespective of the change, let us see if you are getting the constant output voltage and the constant output load current. This is our objective for designing this circuit. If your objective is being met, that means your circuit is working for overcurrent protection OCP and over voltage protection OVP. Okay, so let me tell you one theory here. So this is R1, and what I have done here is D1 is the Zener diode, and if I right click on here, this Zener breakdown voltage is 12 volt. Okay, so as soon as the voltage reaches here is 12 volt, then only this Zener diode goes in the breakdown, and in the breakdown region what will happens, if you look at this point, the base voltage of this transistor gonna be 12 volt. And in order to turn on this Q1, since you have connected R3 resistance, the difference between your base voltage, let us say this is your base voltage, you can name this as a VB. This is your base voltage, and the difference between your base voltage and the VCC OVP voltage should be greater than zero point 0.6 or 0.7 volt. Okay, then only this Q1 turns on. Okay, so what will happen is, if you look at this point, if you apply this loop, so this is 12 volt, and if you consider the VBE voltage here, let's say from here to here, that is 12 volt minus 0.7 volt drop across VB, you will get around 11.2 or 11.3 across this R3 resistance. That means your OCP over voltage will be 11.2 or 11.3. We'll see in the simulation how much voltage you are getting across this R3 resistance or this point. And what is happening irrespective of your change in input voltage, whether this voltage VCC OVP is changing or not, whether you are getting constant current, load current or not, we'll see in the simulation. So right away, straight away, let me run the simulation. So I'll go on run button, this run button, and I'll directly simulate. I'll go window and I'll tile window vertically, and I also do this, the zoom fit. This is the zoom fit. Let me show you the different voltage now. This is your input voltage. So what you can see, I am feeding my input voltage from 0 to 25 volt. This is my input voltage. Okay, and this is, you see, this is the voltage across the Zener diode. Okay, and the voltage across this Zener diode is 12 volt. You can clearly see, guys, the voltage across, if you right click on here at this point VB, you can see the green signal is voltage across the Zener diode, which clearly you see it's 12 volt. Now I'm gonna show you the output voltage. Okay, I'm gonna show you the over voltage output and how it looks like. And so if you look at this point, this is your voltage across, this is your input voltage. Okay, and which you see you are ramping your input voltage from 0 to 25 volt, and at this point when your Zener goes in the breakdown, this is the breakdown region of the Zener diode, and what you see here at this point, your voltage VCC OVP, that means your over voltage it fixed, and it is somewhere around, if you look at here the constant voltage, it is coming 11.2. What does it mean? It means that irrespective of the voltage change after this point, if you look at this point, this is around 15.84, this is around 15.5 or 15 volt. After the 15 volt, irrespective of the voltage change, input voltage is changing from here, let's say from 15 volt to 25 volt, but irrespective of change in the input voltage, let me delete now the base voltage so that you can better understand. So you can see here, irrespective of, let me add the cursor, guys, so you can see better. Okay, probably cursor 1, cursor 1, that's enough. So you can see after this point, and if you look at this point, the voltage at this point is around how much? This voltage is around, it's a 15 volt. Irrespective of the change in your voltage, change in your input voltage, you are saying your stable and constant output, which is 11.2 volt. And what I said was 12 volt is VB, minus 0.7 volt or 0.2 volt, you're gonna get here 11.2 or 11.3 volt at VCC OVP. And the same thing you see here, respective of your change in input voltage, your output voltage is always constant. Your output voltage is always constant. Let me now show you the current, whether you are getting the constant current or not. Okay, so this is your current IR3. This is your current IR3, and what you can see here, after the constant voltage, after this node, let me add the cursor again for the cursor first probably, and after this point what happens, no problem. So let me add the cursor once again, and let me show you. So if you look at this point, after this point, what you can see here is you are getting the constant output current. This is more or less a constant output current at this region, and you also see the constant output voltage, that is 11.2 volt, and the current you see here around how much, it's a 45 milliampere. So what you see here is, guys, irrespective of change in input voltage, respective of from here to here, from 15 volt let's say to 25 volt, respective of change in input voltage, you are getting here the constant output voltage. And irrespective of your change in the load resistance, irrespective of the change in the load resistance here, this is your load resistance R3, and I'm changing this load resistance to 1 ohm to 100 ohm, irrespective of change in the load resistance, you see here you are getting the constant output current, which is equal to 45 milliampere. So if you see at the load current, there is no impact of your input voltage. If you see the load current, there is no impact of your load resistance or your load current, there is no impact here. Here you getting the constant current here, and here you getting the constant voltage. So guys, I hope that you have understood how you're gonna design the OCP and OVP circuit for your application by using a simple discrete circuit, Zener diode and the NPN transistor. And I hope you have understood this concept, and if you have any further question, feel free to ask me in comment section. Thanks for watching this video.